before the video starts, I just wanted to preface it by saying that I'm not lumping all Gypsy supporters together in this video when I talk about these. It's just a particular group of supporters who are just horrible people. That maybe they're good people, but they're presenting themselves as very horrible people. And I don't take issue with every Gypsy supporter. I actually have some people who are friends of mine who I actually consider very good friends who, support Gypsy. But they also see through a lot of her BS too. And they're very respectful, and I'm very respectful to them. And I'm not I'm not lumping those people in. I don't even really feel like I need to say that, but I just wanted to make sure that they know I'm not talking about them when I talk about the cult, the crazy people. I'm not talking about them because I do know some Gypsy supporters who are actually very level-headed, intelligent, thinking people. I'm not including them when I talk about this particular group of people. And so I just wanted to make sure I preface this video by saying that. And I also want to say that I don't necessarily believe that Gypsy 100% wasn't ABUSCD. I think, she definitely was isolated. She definitely experienced serious neglect. She definitely experienced some things that, her life wasn't normal. Her life wasn't normal, and she didn't learn about the world in a way she should have, if that makes sense to you. And I definitely think she was neglected. And I do feel that she probably did experience some form of ABUSC because she was so isolated. Why isolate someone who you're not doing that to? So I'm not saying Dee Dee was an angel at all, but I'm just saying we're never going to really hear her side of the story. But again, I'm not lumping every Gypsy supporter together because I do have friends, even family members, who support her, who they understand my point of view. I understand their point of view. And so I just wanted to say that before you jump into the video. Hello, everyone. I'm Dawn. Thank you so much for visiting with me today. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to my channel, The Cutting Board. We do all kinds of things here. We do SFX makeup, regular makeup, hauls, reviews, true crime, food content, and most importantly, at least to me, Disney content, which we are taking a several months break from. So we'll talk more about that in a later video. But if any of that is of interest to you, please join me. I'd love to have you here, and we're a real friendly group. So I want to discuss something that I saw again on the toilet TikTok. I don't mean I was on the toilet while on TikTok. I mean, I'm calling TikTok a toilet. Yes, I use TikTok because I do get a lot of inspirational ideas, recipes from some parts of it. But for the most part, it's a hideous place, which is really sad because there actually are, peppered in the bullshit, some wonderful content creators, excuse my language, wonderful, that do beautiful work. They have wonderful short vlogs or recipes, or one of my favorites is Dr. Parkenstein, I think it is. He has a wonderful TikTok. He is a breath of fresh air. He is a delight. I adore him. He's clean cut. He's sweet. He's creative. He's intelligent. He's interesting. So if you haven't already, I recommend checking him out if you have access to TikTok. He is great. I just love him. He's a wonderful young man. But anyway, I saw this on TikTok, what we're about to talk about, and I'm not going to call the creator out that posted it. I'm just going to kind of talk about what it is. It's someone who is a Gypsy Rose supporter, blindly supports Gypsy Rose. And not only that, but this particular creator is like 8 inches up Gypsy's ass. Up there. She is just, it's almost as if she's living vicariously through her. It's very strange. It's odd. It is weird. And this is actually something I've seen with a lot of people that I've run into that support Gypsy Rose. It's strange. It's very cult-like. They don't have any kind of lives, hobbies, interest, skills, self-identity, nothing. Their whole life is just supporting Gypsy Rose. And it's so bizarre to me. It is bizarre. I mean, I think if you support her, that's fine. Whatever. If you support anything, that's fine. It's weird to support a cold-blooded murderer, but, still, don't you have a life of your own? Like me, yes, I do discuss Gypsy Rose on my channel, and I try to step away from it, but it's such a crap show that it's hard to do. Things keep coming up, that make me want to discuss her. But I also have a ton of interest in other things I talk about on my channel. We do a lot of traveling around. We go on little adventures. I'm going on one tomorrow. I can't wait to share with you. We do Disney, and we do projects, and we do cooking, and there's always something going on in my life. And I just discussed Gypsy Rose on my channel, when, something comes up that I want to talk about, but it's not constant. And with these people that, that support her, it is constant. It's kind of like, and no offense to people who support Donald Trump, but there are some Trump supporters who will make up things people said just so they could make a TikTok about it. And they do that with Gypsy too. And it is constant. I mean, don't they have anything else going on? It's just, get a man, get a hobby. It's just very odd to me. It's actually, to be rather blunt, it's pathetic how someone can so blindly support someone they didn't give birth to. Someone that they know was involved with a heinous, violent, vicious, brutal crime. Make no mistake about it. Dee Dee suffered. She felt those stabs. And it's very possible this lion sack of semen, Gypsy, excuse my crudeness, made sure Dee Dee knew she was involved. So she felt the betrayal too. It's likely she felt that too. She is just that evil and cold-hearted and has these people fooled. She is someone who wouldn't give a damn if any or all of her supporters dropped off the earth today. She wouldn't care. But anyway, this one supporter, of the Boner Garage said something along the lines of, it's insane how so many people need zero proof to believe a lie, but need endless proof in order to accept the truth. Found it very humorous. It was something along those lines, but I found it very interesting. And I just want to talk about that real quick. So let's dissect it a little, just a little. There is a multitude of proof, evidence, that shows Gypsy lied quite a bit about what happened. About why she wanted her mother dead, various things. She doesn't have 30 plus scars from surgeries across her body. The investigation was completely halted. It was stopped when Gypsy decided to plead guilty. And it is believed, and it's intelligently believed, because it seems reasonable to me. And I guarantee you I am smarter, and my supporters are smarter, my viewers are smarter than the person who made that post. The reason she made that plea is because if they continued that investigation, and I'm not telling anybody anything new, they would have found evidence to support the contrary of what she and her attorney were saying. And she knows that. Her attorney knew that. So it's not people with zero proof believing a lie. It's people with a ton of evidence, a lot of information that they've looked at that have made them, stand back and see, this girl she's lying through her teeth. These people who are against Gypsy Rose aren't against her because, they're bored. They're not against her because they have zero proof and they aren't believing in a lie. I mean, they're not believing in a lie. If anything, it's these people that support Gypsy that have zero proof of her justification for what she did, and to some people, even her innocence. There isn't endless proof to support the truth she's trying to spew. So let's stop pretending there is. And we don't need proof because no truth has ever been told. Not coming from her mouth. No truth has been revealed. The jig was up back then. The scam was getting ready to be found out. And Gypsy had to make a desperate move. And she didn't want to be strapped with a sick mom to take care of, even though Dee took care of her. Because she wanted to let her freak flag fly. I hate using that term because that's our term. Look, I don't believe the conspiracy theories that the judge was threatened or bribed. I don't believe any of that. I think that's nonsense. But I think that they just all wanted to make it easy on themselves, make it go away. They had their sacrificial lamb in Nicholas. And yes, he's guilty too, but she should be in prison still. If someone commits a violent crime, they deserve to be in prison. So I'm not saying that, Nicholas is off the hook with me if he committed this terrible act against Dee Dee. He deserves to be where he is forever. But the bitch who planned the entire murder also needs to be in prison and may have participated actively in it. She was whoring it up before she met Nicholas. Yes, I'm slut shaming. He didn't turn her into some sadomasochistic sex maniac toothbrush lover. She showed him that person, just like she showed Dan. And I don't care if someone, is into certain things. Yeah, that's totally fine, whatever. But please do not pee on my leg and tell me it's raining. I'm not into golden showers. Maybe she is. She's trying to push this narrative that she was a victim. She's still trying to do that. She was a victimizer. She wasn't victimized by Nicholas. She victimized him. Gypsy Rose is far from a victim. She is a victimizer. And she was a tattletale in jail too. But learn the difference. Learn the difference. I'm not saying Dee Dee was a perfect angel, but I do know this. 100% of the people I've known in my life who I've been close enough to talk to about our childhood, they have all been ABUSCD by their mothers. And, don't come at me with, oh, but Gypsy's situation was way, way worse. Dee Dee was way worse than anyone else's mom ever on the planet. We can compare childhood trauma all we want. We sure can. But the point is, none of us are murderers. Only a handful are. And a lot of them, some people who have committed matricide were never mistreated by their mother. I'm sure a lot of us wanted to. I sure wanted to, but I didn't. I got a sneeze coming. And I certainly didn't enlist a mentally touched young man to do my dirty work for me. Did anyone see the E-News thing? I'll try to put a clip in here.
Putting all of this effort in. And I had been hit with the question, how are you going to tell your daughter about what you did? And I just want to know that she's going to love me and forgive me for what I did in my past. don't want that to, like, cloud her mind and her end up hating me.
So she said she had been hit with the question, how are you going to tell your daughter what you did? That was quite a performance. In my opinion, that was completely performative. And she didn't say, I just want my daughter to know I love her. She said, I just want to know that she's going to love me. Did you hear that? It's all about her. It's all about her, what she can get from people. And I know some of you may be thinking that I'm reaching. You know, those are just words. Those are the words that happen to come out of her mouth. That's not how she meant it. That's the thing. They don't think. She didn't necessarily mean that, you know, she needs to be the one that's loved. But we have watched time and time again how she has used language and a performance to get sympathy or whatever. Get what she wants. Get people to see her in a certain way. And it works for her because there are these nimrods, these stupids out here that are full on supporting her with every fiber of their being. They are willing to go to all out war for her. And she's a freaking cult leader. The weakest cult I've ever seen in my life, but still a cult leader. For sure. She also said, you know, she didn't want Aurora to end up hating her. Why did the term hate even enter her mind? Because she hated her mother. She hated Dee Dee.
You hated your mom?
I did not hate my mom. I did not hate my mom. I loved my mom. And
you would have never done this to your mom.
He needs to tell you that
because she wanted to switch her little ass all over the internet and have men begging for it from her. It didn't really happen the way she wanted to, but still. And Dee Dee probably, you know, had a problem with that. I think that most moms would frown on their daughter, you know, doing things with a toothbrush and sending nudes to men on the internet. And if her mom was so overbearing and such a hoverer, such a helicopter parent, when did she find the time to do all of this stuff? Position the cameras and stuff to take these pictures and videos and get the toothbrush out. I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's just, shit's not adding up. It's not adding up. She also said that she's not a monster and she doesn't want Aurora to grow up thinking she's one. But she's perfectly fine with some of the weaker-minded members of society thinking that her mom was a monster. Yeah. I saw another comment telling an anti-gypsy commenter to shut up. It's not anyone's business. Well, it kind of is, because she, first of all, puts it out there for everyone. And, you know, what you put online isn't private. And, you know, oh, Gypsy was brutalized by that monster. No, honey. No sugar limbs. Learn to read. These people purposely ignore all the documented information. They purposely ignore it because it doesn't support the lie they so desperately want to believe. They want to believe this lie, so they ignore all the facts. And they attack others for it. And we don't need to shut up, by the way. It is our business. It is our business. When someone is a danger to society, it is everyone's business. Gypsy has lied and continues to lie. She contradicts herself in almost every single interview. She contradicts herself in her own book. She has all of these supporters fooled, and it would be sad if their weird worshiping of her wasn't so funny. Gypsy worked Nicholas. She worked the legal system. She worked her family. She's still working them. She worked Ryan. She's still working him. She's actively working Ken. And she's actively working her followers, and she's going to continue to do it as long as she gets away with it. And yes, she will start working that child. She will start working that child eventually. She actually already has. She already is with that diaper blowout video. You know, she acts like, you know, she's the only one that's ever dealt with a diaper blowout. It's disgusting. She literally used that baby in that little video for clicks, for content, and a pretend attempt at being relatable. She is a user of people, and they're all disposable to her once their purpose has been served. If they're lucky, they're just thrown aside like, you know, like she did to Ryan, but she keeps reeling them back in. She's got to have them on the hook. And you better all not hope she decides to cast you aside the way she did Dee Dee. She is a violent, vicious killer with no regard for anyone. She knows love to be, what can I get out of this person? That's what she believes love to be. She will let you support her, even make you feel special, Bree. Make you feel seen and heard, but trust and believe. You do not matter to her. You don't. And then there are the idiots that say that the anti-gypsy community is jealous of her. Jealous of what exactly? Jealous of what? Because there is a lot higher quality people out there to be jealous of. There really are. Are we jealous that we don't have a warty gang of bridge trolls standing up for us? No, that's not it. Honestly, why is it so hard to believe that, you know, the majority of people in the world really just don't have a soft spot for cold-blooded murderers? Why is that so hard to just accept? I don't understand why that's so hard to believe. Sorry, not sorry. Gypsy is a bad person, and her supporters are bad people. She is evil, she is dirty, and despite Gypsy's best efforts, Aurora is going to know that. Gypsy will probably fool her and trick her and lie to her, gaslight her, you know, oh, Aurora, they just hate your mommy because, you know, they don't understand what I went through. We understand what she claimed she went through. That she was going through ABUSC when she was really just going through a bunch of dick. You know, excuse my language, I'm sorry. We're just too smart to believe, after all the things she has said and all of the information that has come out, we understand that there are multiple sides to every story. And Gypsy made damn sure Dee Dee's true story would never be heard. Made damn sure of that. She not only violently and viciously and cruelly saw to it that her mother's life was snuffed out, that it was ended, but she made sure that it was torturous. But she is also ensuring that everyone who is dim enough to believe anything she says will paint Dee Dee in the most negative light possible because they are fools. And Rod, he gives so much of a shit now. Where was he when he could have been, you know, fighting to get his daughter? You know, when he could have been, you know, fighting to get Gypsy. Where the hell was he? And I'm sure the information is out there, or theories, but I'm still a little lost on that. Sure, maybe Dee Dee put up walls, but a real man, a true father, tears those walls down. And do not come at me with, it's not always easy. It doesn't matter. You don't do it because it's easy. You do it because it's the right thing. And you all expected it out of Kevin Frankie. Everyone expected Kevin Frankie to, you know, do something about his kids when he was blocked out of their lives by Ruby. Why aren't we putting out the same, you know, energy regarding Rod. Just food for thought. We'll talk more about that later. We will. And anyway, that's all for this video. Discuss in the comments below and be respectful. And I will talk to everyone later. Again, be nice to each other. Be respectful. Be courteous. Because I have read a lot of comments from you beautiful people where you don't all always agree with each other. But I am so proud to say that my true viewers, my community, my true supporters, even when they are not in agreement with me or each other, they are all respectful and they plead their case. And sometimes I can speak for only myself. They've even changed my mind a little bit or have made me, see things in a different light because of the way they approached, because of the way they addressed an issue, and the way they made things so, clear to me. You're going to accomplish things like that. You're going to accomplish things that way by being a reasonable human being and leave an intelligent, thoughtful comment. Instead of, beating each other and, trying to harm each other in the comments and be ugly and gross and mean and stupid. I'm really proud of the people that watch my, channel and speak to each other in the comments in such a respectful manner. No matter what your opinions are, most of you are always very respectful of each other, and I appreciate you for that. So I will talk to everyone later. If anyone, has anything they want to share with me regarding Rod's involvement or lack thereof in Gypsy's life, feel free to email me any information or thoughts you have, articles, whatever, cuttingdawn333@gmail.com. Any information you have or that you want to share, that would be very helpful. So anyway, I'll talk to everyone later. Bye-bye.